Hey, Shalom. This is Brother Yuan. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah, by Hashem Kadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And I want to say Shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth in sincerity. All right, may the blessing of election be upon your house. The title of this lesson is What Do You See When You Pray? And what Christians will tell you, they'll say, oh, it doesn't matter what color he was. It doesn't matter what color the Son of the Most High was or the Most High himself. All that matters is his blood was red. That's what they'll tell you. Well, that's the furthest thing from the truth. You see, the Bible is a family book addressed to a particular people. And we've been seeing that be addressed, here as of late, that beautiful lesson that the brothers in Boston did, right? Christians will sit there and tell you, it doesn't matter what color he was. Why is that important? It's important because the people that the Bible is written to have discontinued from their heritage. Okay? And they've been not only enslaved physically, but enslaved mentally. And the image that you have held up generation upon generation is now the image of what the actual bloodline descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob see when they even call on the Lord, when they do pray. So turn that down a little bit, okay? When they do pray, they see that image of Cesare Borgia. So this is of utmost importance when we talk about, what the Most High looks like. Even the northern tribe, to the furthest extent. So now, when they're praying, they see an image of you. They see an image of the very people that oppress them. I brought it up maybe a year and a half ago. I did a lesson on Stalin, the dictator of the USSR, and the chicken. One day he invited all his advisors and his council in a room, and he had a chicken, and he plucked that chicken feather by feather in front of his advisors, in front of his council. And while it bled and screamed, they looked on. So he plucked the chicken completely clean, and then he would drop breadcrumbs. And as he dropped those breadcrumbs, the chicken followed Stalin. And he told his council, he said, we could do whatever to the people as long as we give them food. And this devil in this society, he has nourished us. We had to go to him for want and need of all things, pursuant to the curses. And he's the one, that we went to for our resources. So on top of that, and him putting up that image, our people have developed Stockholm Syndrome. They've developed an affinity, a love for the very people that are oppressing them. Israel's the chicken, right? In that scenario. All right? But we know, according to the scriptures, the actual depiction of the Lord. In the heathen, they're scratching and clawing and trying to push that Christianity back on us. When it's biblical prophecy that we will wake up out of that dark sleep, man. When you go to Daniel the 12th chapter, let me pull it up here. When we go to Daniel the 12th chapter, in the 4th verse, it lets us know that knowledge will be increased in the latter times, in the end days. And knowledge is being increased. We're waking back up to our heritage. The bloodline descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? They're waking back up to their heritage because it was also prophesied that they would discontinue from it. Now, the people over there in the land today, what period of time? Okay, let's go into it. When can they point out in history? See, here we completely forgot that we were so-called Jews, right? And then we had a great awakening, and people and prophets were, reminding our people of who we were, and they were on the highways and hedges. They were teaching in the streets, and this is when they didn't have that. We're having that. We're the ones that fit prophecy, and this is where the bar gets too high for the scoffers. Because when it comes in regards of prophecy, which is how you actually are going to have to discern who the actual children are, is how you're actually going to have to discern who the wicked are. Okay? They can't do it. The bar is set too high. So this is Daniel 12 and 4. All right? Actually, we'll just start Let's just start at the top here. Daniel 12:1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standing for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. Okay? So Jacob's trouble. And we're going to be here as that's happening, despite what, your pastors and some of your leaders tell you. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered. So look, the trouble's happening. And then in the midst of that, at that time, thy people shall be delivered out of it, right? Everyone that shall be found written in the book. Verse 2. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. All right. And we hope to be a part of that number that awaken up to everlasting life. Verse 3. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. You're going to receive an everlasting name. And, I always like to go to 1 Maccabees 2:50 on down. My sons, be zealous, call to remembrance the works of your fathers. I'm paraphrasing. Actually, let me just go get it, and then we'll come back to Daniel 12. I don't want to misspeak. All right? 1 Maccabees 2:50. All right? We want to receive the everlasting name. It says, now therefore, my sons, be zealous for the law, and give your lives for the covenant of your fathers. Call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time, so you shall receive great honor and an everlasting name. The righteous is never forsaken. All right? And we're supposed to be living sacrifices. So those who are the living sacrifices for our Lord always talk about that reciprocation. Right? The same way the Lord laid down his life for us, he said, greater love have no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. In return, we're laying down our life for him. We're living for him. We're standing stiffly for the things of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, right? Now let's go back to Daniel 12. Okay? Because you're going into the point that there's a great awakening for the Israelites that are supposed to happen at the latter time, before the Lord returns. Okay? Verse 3 again, Daniel 12:3. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book. So the book will be sealed. The understanding would be sealed for a time, for a season, even to the time of the end. And that season, when that season ended and the understanding came back in the forefront of the earth, that's how you would know, oh, this is the end time. Because Israel's waking back up to their heritage after they've been scattered to every nation under heaven, dwelling amongst the other nations. Okay? Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. All right? Then you jump down to verse 8. It says, and I heard, but I understood not. Then said I, O my Lord, what shall the end of these things be? So Daniel's inquiring of the end once more. And he said, go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed to the time of the end. To the time of the end. Many shall be purified and made white, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. So the wise are understanding what, circling back to the first point, that image that our people envision when they pray has to be stripped for you to really, because that comes with a particular vibration when you see Cesare Borgia when you're praying. That image has to be plucked out, surgically removed from our people for them to even begin to understand. It's very important. You got to realize that, man. When our people are praying, that's what they see, man. They envision Cesare. So that's why Cesare could flat out lie to these people, come back 6 months later and tell them something else, and they believe it wholeheartedly. They just put their utmost faith in this man, even though he's proven himself to be the wicked, to be a liar, to be the devil himself. All right, so, just a quick lesson, man, for you guys. A milk lesson. That image is very important. Now, we'll put a depiction, a more accurate depiction of what he looks like. But we don't bow down to that image, nor do we praise it. Okay? It's for education's sake. But that image that they put up, that they built statues, that they plaster over, Bibles, that they, You know, they build little monuments of them around churches and Catholic, you know, uh, churches and stuff like that. People actually envision that when they pray. Do you think can they have a genuine connection with Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah when they envision that? When they're inquiring of the Lord, when they're asking, for wisdom from on high? Can they have a genuine connection with him when they have that image of the devil in their minds? Christianity is a satanic religion, man. It is what it is. Okay, so with that being said, man, I'll probably do another lesson on this when I get back to the house. Put up some images and some clips and stuff like that. Have some visual aids. But with that being said, man, I'm going to give all praise to the Most High. Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Kadash. I'm going to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to all the brothers, and of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth in sincerity. All right? May the blessing and election be upon your house. Shalom.